Hey, what's up guys? First of all, yes, new video format. I personally find it more engaging when I can see the person talking, so I thought, screw it, I will just do like a face cam sort of thing, and then if I need any cards to pop up or anything like that, I can just have, like them just pop up on the screen. So yeah, I'll probably just start doing videos like this now. It makes editing a lot easier for me as well. If you guys prefer the older format, then let me know, but yeah, we'll stick with this for now. So we'll get straight into the video. I want to talk about bluffing in Magic and how a lot of people just don't seem to incorporate it into their gameplay. So I see a lot of high quality players just not be able to bluff, especially when it comes to bad things. So for example, if your opponent top decks a card, they often I guess this isn't really bluffing, but they'll like look at the top card of their deck as they draw it, and if it's a land, they'll just like straight away put it into play. First of all, you are just giving your opponent free information, which I really don't understand why you would ever do that. If you're playing like an F&M, you don't really care, that's fine. But I see people at like GPs doing this, at like very high tables still doing things like that, or you just tell your opponent free information for no reason. I've got a little story. I think it's pretty helpful. Sorry, a quick little edit before we get into the stories. I just want to explain that the people that I talk about in this video, I do not mean to offend or anything like that, or discredit or anything. They're both great Magic players, and I just want to. I don't feel like I stressed that enough in the original recording, so I just thought I'd add this in. If they see this, I don't want them to like feel offended or anything like that. I really like the players that I played against, and they are good Magic players. I just want to say that just because I don't feel like I expressed it enough during the story. And yeah, so. Straight back to the video. So it was GP Barcelona. I was in Barcelona. It was earlier this year, 2016, and I was up. I think it was about the second last round of the day, maybe the third. I was up fairly high tables, and I got set against an opponent who works for. I'm not going to name the company actually, or the player himself. I don't think that's very relevant for the story, but he was a writer, he was sponsored and everything like that, so he was representing countries, he writes articles, and I thought, this is going to be great. I'm going to play against a genuinely a high caliber player, which ultimately is what I want to do. So I sit opposite him, we just talk. He's a really nice guy, absolutely great to interact with, which was awesome. So we play game 1 and he beats me. Game 2, I soon get ahead on board, and I like kill all his creatures as he plays them because I had a heavy removal deck. And my opponent quickly ended up in top deck mode, and the way that he was reacting to what cards he was drawing was really, really obvious. Like, as he drew the card, if it was a land, he would just put it into play, and it was, and like when he draws a bad card, he would just sigh or roll his eyes, and it became very obvious to me when he did or didn't have anything. And because of this, I was able to be a lot more aggressive because I knew he didn't have anything, and it wasn't like he was bluffing because it just never came up that he actually had anything. So I was able to just say, okay, I know he doesn't have anything. He sighed when he drew, he still doesn't have anything, and I could just attack with everything. Even like creatures that I wouldn't have wanted to attack with, because I knew that I could just put a clock on him really, really quickly because he was just telling me what he was drawing. And I just felt that this gave me a huge edge against someone that I thought was a very good player. Like, ultimately he did win the round, but that game specifically, I would say he threw just because of what he was telling me. I wouldn't have killed him on the same turn that I did if he hadn't gave me the information that he was drawing blanks. So if he just kept his calm face and just played normally, then I might have been a little bit more hesitant to attack with certain creatures, which would have bought him a turn or two. I don't know if that would have won him the game, but he would have had more of a chance of winning. So I just thought that was like a noteworthy thing to explain. Just because you're a good player, it doesn't mean that there's little things like that you can improve on. Like, I just think it's a very easy thing to improve on as well. Like, it's not like you have to play hundreds of games to get like a little edge or something. This is just stop telling your opponent things for no reason. Another good example of this is so say I'm on the play. Turn 1 I play Goblin Guide and I attack, and then next turn my opponent, or in their turn, they play like a Mana Dork. So then it goes back to me, I attack with my Goblin Guide, and off the top of my opponent's deck, they reveal a Kitchen Finks. So, and at this point, I have no Skullcrack in hand. So my opponent can look at me as like they reveal it, and they can see either I could sigh, I could roll my eyes, or I could make some sort of reaction to say that I either do or don't have a Skullcrack effect. and then they can use that information to say whether they want to play their creature. And for this example, I didn't actually have a Skullcrack or an Attackers command, so if my opponent cast their Kitchen Finks on turn 2 because they had the mana dork, I just didn't have anything to do. I couldn't like Skullcrack them or stop them, so the life would actually go through. But if you do things like you don't share information, you don't roll your eyes or anything like that, they don't know what's going on. So when my opponent did reveal that, I didn't I just didn't over exaggerate any sort of emotion, and then I simply played my Stomping Ground. I paid 2 life to keep it untapped, and then I just passed, which was representing Attackers Command and Skullcrack. And because of that, it actually put my opponent off playing it, and that was because of the way that I played my land and the way that I reacted. But it was just something that I thought that was constructive for other people to hear as well. So yeah, basically just don't give your opponent free information. There's no reason to. And yeah, thanks for watching. Peace.